Hello again, I'm Stephen Jerome, continuing to read from my third novel, The London Year. Pick it up, Amazon, and all those book buying places. Okay, so we're continuing. Terry Gaines has got a job at Harrods now, and he's meeting people and learning his way around the store, is assigned to duties which take him around the store. So we will continue here. Over time, however, my casual friendship with Dermot, who worked on the loading dock, began to change. I began to sense a pleasant tension in our brief encounters. I caught him watching me from the corner of his eye. Then I started to see him more regularly, literally in passing, when he walked by our wall of freezer shelves, going about his own in-store business. There were other routes he might have taken if he was heading up to the employee dining room, but our paths began to cross, and he'd look at me shyly, perhaps a brief greeting, barely slowing his pace, continuing on his way. I didn't want to project too much because, for one, we were co-workers, which could become awkward. Mostly, though, with Dermot, it was out of sight and out of mind. Anyway, I had in-store tasks of my own, and once I leaned back my two-wheel dolly load of frost-covered boxes, my only thought was getting them upstairs before the frost turned to dripping water. Frosted Foods' storage freezer was strategically located on the floor above our wall of refrigerated shelves. A discreet door off the furniture department led to a very small office where, besides a small desk and two chairs, there was a thick insulated door with a push spring handle one could open from both sides, so it was impossible to get locked in. The freezer itself was actually huge, with rows of old wooden shelves that held cases of frozen merchandise. A floor plan would show it as the size of a small department, but walled off and windowless, it was completely invisible to the customers. Even among Harrods' employees, I'm sure almost no one knew it even existed. As a work environment, it was even more grim and poorly lit than the loading dock, a completely inhospitable world, cold enough to require an insulated coat if one was going to spend any time there, but always a pair of heavy gloves. Without them, your fingers might get stuck to things. One's breath came out in clouds, and after a few minutes, icicles formed on eyebrows, mustaches, and beards. There was also a steel-lined spiral chute where, to quickly restock store shelves below, we could send things down to our tiny workroom on the ground floor. One day, I slid down the chute head first just to say I'd done it. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I hear rain coming, so I think we'll stop there until for a few more days. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned.